Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. So many games are getting delayed recently, like months in advance. And I'm still finding myself running a bit low on games to do, so I find myself going back to some of my old favorites. And you might be wondering, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is one of your old favorites, to which I say, yes it is. For some reason. I come back to this game every couple of years and give it a run through. Despite the fact that I basically know the entire game off the back of my hand, I still do it anyway. I'm not really sure why, but, well, I guess now's the opportunity to find out, because we're going to go and play some of it. Don't know why we're in the pirate years. I saved and quit in Dimension X, but that's a thing. We're going to go to Dimension X, because that's like the only place that's got a level that we can play at the moment. That shows off the game properly. So, yes, it is a Bugs Bunny licensed game, and it does actually have, like, some of the voices going on as well. Like, it's obvious that it's not, what's-his-face did the original voices for Daffy, Bugs, and the rest of them. God, I can't remember. But basically, Bugs has been replaced by Billy West, and a bunch of the other voice actors have been replaced too. And they all sound really authentic, actually, and we'll get to see that.
Now, where the heck am I? Hey, excuse me, pardon me.
Oh my, what a wonderful Earthling specimen to test my new space modulator experience.
You get those little cutscenes at the beginning of every one, and there's a couple of levels I'll have to go show off because they feel like really authentic to the original cartoons. A lot of these levels are actually based off the original cartoons as well, which makes it all the more enjoyable, at least in my point of view, but we'll get to see that shortly. So, if you haven't quite got the idea yet, it's a 3D collectathon platformer in the vein of things like Super Mario 64 and all that, but it does its own thing. It's a little bit more simple, because this game was meant for kids a fair bit more than Super Mario 64 was, but it still does some things that are pretty enjoyable, i.e. the Bugs Bunny and the Looney Tunes themes, because these themes are actually quite enjoyable, in my personal opinion. Right, I guess I have to go hit a switch to activate this one. A lot of levels are based around different time periods. This is Dimension X, which is in the future, but you've got the Pirate Years, which is inhabited by Yosemite Sam. You've got the Stone Age, which has Elmer Fudd. You've got the 1930s, which is Muggsy, and the guy's name I can never remember to save my life. Basically just inhabiting those. I am really terrible at this platforming right now. There we go. They're basically just inhabiting their own time periods, and you face off against them, and there are these major platforming level challenges here, which have these big long levels with tons of collectibles in them. And then you've got a bunch of other little things going on. Whoop. Standing on the edge. Oh god, I need to avoid being hit by those ice bolts. Nope, never mind. There we go. I'm out. Now I just need to make a run. Really? Really? Well, at least I ran out of health and died. It's better than being sent down the exit tube. Trust me on that one. But yeah, they've all got their own little theme and time periods, which is nice. You face off against them in multiple levels. A lot of which are just kind of like standalone challenges. Some of which are... what's the word I'm looking for? You know, some of them are standalone challenges. Some of them aren't. Oh, bollocks. There we go. At least I got him. At least I killed the poor space chicken. Whoops. I forgot they did that, if you couldn't tell. Man, my focus is not where it needs to be today. I'm not looking forward to the second video I have to pull off. But yes, the game is a relatively basic 3D platformathon, but That was just a good shot on his part, admittedly. There are multiple moves that you have available to you. Some of them are interesting, like being able to sneak, but that's not going to help me out here. I basically just need to make a run for it and hope I don't get shot again. But yeah, the 3D platforming is pretty simple. You get access to a few extra moves that give you a little bit more variety, though. You have the ability to kick things, as you already saw with the poor space chicken, or whatever those are. I'm pretty sure they have an official name. I'd just be lying if I said I could remember it. Oh, look, a checkpoint. That's nice. You can also save at checkpoints at pretty much any time, so if you want to come back later, you could do that, but I'm playing this on an emulator, obviously, so it's a little bit different in that respect. But you have the ability to kick, you have the ability to sneak, you also have the ability to roll, but rolling does very little. There's a couple of... Actually, there's a... Come on, get out of it, get out of it. There we go. Come on, take your shots. Take your shots, and that's it. That's bad, that's bad. See, how annoying is that? They put a checkpoint right under where the bloody pipe comes out, so you can't avoid it, and now you have to go through the level again. Because it's annoying as shit like that. They will give the game's levels one credit, though. They do have a lot of variety. Yeah, I talked about the roll, I talked about the sneak. You also have, like, these helicopter ears, which are useful for landing on fragile platforms. You do also unlock special abilities as you go. So, you get things along the lines of being able to do super jumps, play the piano and make it explode, a la every time Bugs managed to do that to Yosemite Sam. What were the other ones? I'd be lying if I said I can remember at this point. I say I know the game like the back of my hand, I can't even remember what half the power-ups are, that's great. But yeah, you unlock a few extra things as you go along. And yeah, it's just basic 3D platforming. It's a little bit rough playing it on an analog stick, because I'm playing this on a 360 pad right now, and I gotta tell ya, the D-pad on it is not good for this sort of game, especially since it's meant to be played on D-pads. So it kind of sucks in that regard, but back when you used to play it on the PlayStation 1, all you had was the D-pad and nothing else. Come on, big guy. Yeah, when all you had was the... Seriously? Did I get too far? I don't have my sound on, so I'm just relying on visual cues. Oh, come on, hit the space chickens, for God's sake. Yeah, the game controls fine when you're relying purely on, come on, break out, kick. Thank Christ. Oh, these are fun. These are instant kill. Let me try and actually finish my sentence. When you are playing this entirely on a PlayStation with the original D-pad, the controls are fine. You never need to worry too much about anything more than the 4 cardinal directions, right? We don't want to go up this just yet. Grab the golden carrots and make our way back. There's more collectibles to be found. I appreciate how you kick the doors open. It's not like just a general open, it's just, hey bitches, I'm here. One thing I do like about this game, though, is the graphical style. It's a really nice looking game even today because they went for a relatively simplistic, less is more style of graphical design. And it still holds up, kind of like cell shading does. They don't focus on ridiculous amounts of detail. They're trying to be accurate to the cartoons, which were never massively detailed to begin with. At least, like, you could tell, like, in certain background art, they put in a lot of effort, but in the actual, like, characters and stuff themselves, it was all a little bit, yeah, I went the wrong direction the first time, great. Yeah, but in the actual character's environment that needed to be interacted with, they... double bollocks. And the bot's over there too. Right next to the goddamn thing. At least I'm not down in the pit. Yeah, they didn't go for an overly detailed graphical style. They went for something really simple. And I appreciate that a lot more because the game still looks pretty damn good. You can play this on something like, say, RetroArch and get higher internal resolution, get rid of that dithering effect, but I always liked the... There we go. I always liked the whole dithering effect they had going on the PlayStation version. It looks better on a CRT where it's all a little bit blurred, but it gives the game just that little bit of extra detail that your mind just kind of fills in by itself. And I really appreciate it for that. I still think it looks nice to this day. Not to mention all the animations are really nice. Like, Bugs has the ability to dive down a rabbit hole. But if you do it on a flat surface... I love that sound effect too. It's just... There's a few of those like little details through this that I appreciate more... Oh, bollocks. Come on. Again? Just go in a circle. And jump for the... Wait, what? God damn it. I appreciate how it's called garbage storage. Yeah, I appreciate like the little details they got going on along those lines. And wait until you see some of the other references to Bugs Bunny cartoons. There's a couple of like smaller levels I want to show off after this one once I'm done being completely incompetent getting past these bastard robots. I remember these being just as hard back on the original PlayStation, so... Yeah, it's not great. One thing that's not particularly great about the gameplay is the camera, and it kind of shows in segments like this where you have to be constantly moving to the left and right under a time limit. You can control the camera using the L2 and R2 buttons, because this game came out before the DualShock did. No, actually, that's a lie. It didn't come out before the DualShock did, but it didn't really make use of the right sticks, so... Not great. So, you have to control the camera's left and right movements using the L2 and R2 buttons, and it just doesn't handle that well. It's not amazing, but it's not great either. Right, it's not this one that has the teleporter in it. Yep, not letting it squish me this time. camera does work when it needs to, but it's still kind of annoying in the long run. I wish it was a little better, especially with certain glitches like the one you saw in the when I entered the teleporter and it turned out halfway across the screen. I don't remember that happening on the PlayStation version, but oh well. So let's talk about the game's actual like sets of collectibles and what have you. So right, can't get across that yet. There are 2 collectibles you need to look out for. There are clocks and golden carrots. You can also pick up regular carrots, which help to buff up your health. You have 3 carrots. Most hits take away half a carrot, but some take away 2 carrots. So basically, you've got either 6 or 3 hits, depending on how much of a pain in the ass the game designers decided to be at that point. But yes, golden carrots and clocks, because the plot is basically that Bugs found a time machine on his way to Pismo Beach? I don't remember. It's so weird. He says it in such a weird way that you don't know if he's saying Gizmo or Pismo, and I know which one sounds more disgusting, so we'll go with Gizmo. Yeah, he finds the time machine, activates it because of course he does, and ends up basically having to travel through, beat the crap out of everyone, and pick up clocks and golden carrots. Makes enough sense. And both unlock stuff. They'll unlock levels, they'll unlock new eras, which basically just leads to more levels. And that's basically the long and the short of it. Get them all for the best ending, otherwise you'll get just a ending where you can't go home, pretty much. You need to get all 120 clocks in order to successfully make it through. You need to get all 120 clocks to successfully get the ending anyway, so you might as well get all the golden carrots while you're there. It's not a very hard game. Like, I'm making it look harder than it actually is, because as we all know, as soon as I turn on the recording software, I become a complete idiot. But the game itself is still pretty easy. There are some levels that will absolutely kick your ass the first time through. There are some levels that require you to come back with extra power-ups later. And there are some levels... right, which way was it? To the Zappy Gates. There's the Zappy Gates. Yeah, there are some levels that will kick your ass the first time through. There are some levels which are incredibly easy, and you will just run right through them and grab everything without even trying. But again, it's a game made for kids. It's kind of... It's not really fair to be harsh on the difficulty, especially since it still maintains a... Just missed it. Especially since it maintains a pretty consistent difficulty curve all the way through. In the sense that it's slowly but surely going upwards. Although it's a bit weird to have the final level basically be just like a couple of puzzles like Mastermind and what have you. It was a nice change of pace, and that's what this game has in spades, changes of pace. Wait until you see what that console that showed up earlier was for. You can use this remote console to control the robot. Because this is a thing you can do. For some reason. Yes, and you can even shoot as well. Remember what I said about the game being good at changes of pace? Yeah, it does this a lot. And there's a couple of levels which are entirely based around their own unique mechanics, which makes them really fun to deal with, if I'm being honest, because... There we go. Because the game knows when you've had a little bit too much of any particular activity, and it's actually really good at just saying, hey, you want to do something else for a while? I'll also give them some credit for the soundtrack. Because even in some of my, like, even in some of the areas where you think it wouldn't exactly be suited to the purpose, for example, the 1930s, it still manages to sound like that sort of whimsical, cartoony style of thing that you would hope for a game based off the Looney Tunes, you know? It sounds... The sounds fit the theme. That was a nice shot on my part, jeez. Yeah, the sounds fit the theme. The soundtrack fits the theme. And it all just works really well together.
Ollie ollie action free.
And the entire game just feels like a fun, consistent romp. How am I doing? I'm missing 6 clocks.
Action free.
Oh, wait a minute.
Gotcha.
Yep, here we are. We have a boss fight with Marvin the Martian. I think he gets the most boss fights out of everyone in the entire game. To be fair, Dimension X is probably like my favorite dimension outside the 1930s, just because it has the most variety to it. You get to ride on like a space scooter and race with one of the bloody space chickens. Always good fun to race a space chicken on a space scooter. Smack. I think I might have missed a few clocks, actually. It has been a while since I played this. Knows the game like the back of his hand, he says. It's alright, we've got enough clocks to make this work. Ow. One of the nice things about this game, actually, is if you die on a boss fight, it doesn't actually send you all the way back to the beginning, because the boss fights in this game can actually be kind of long. So it just puts you back where you were, with the same amount of health on the boss. No questions asked. Which, considering how annoying bosses can be in these kinds of games, is actually kind of nice. There's basically no penalty for dying. There is kind of a penalty for not being able to pick up as many carrots as possible, though, because there are golden carrots that you can pick up outside of the stages. They're in the hub areas, and they cost 99 carrots each. So when you fill out your carrot counter, you can go and get a golden carrot. Which I think is actually a really neat idea to encourage the players to play as well as possible, so they can get as many carrots as they can, so they can get the golden carrots easier and not have to grind them later on, which is... It's a minor thing, but it shows they were thinking about the design at least a little bit. And there's a few things like that in this game. Where they just... It's just clever enough, and just engaging enough, and just entertaining enough for me to want to come back to it a lot. Because it's just a really entertaining game. It's got some cool themes going on. The characters are true to their portrayals in the cartoons. The gameplay is, while relatively simple, still pretty enjoyable.
This is very annoying.
Maybe just runs off to his little ship and runs away. Yeah, I missed a couple of clocks, but it doesn't matter. I've already got a couple of extra levels unlocked that'll I've already got a couple of extra levels unlocked that we can go and play next. The art on the load screens is nice too. They put some effort into it.
Good, but you left some stuff behind you.
Objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. That's a good level.
Save your
Actually, we're gonna go play that next because it's a good example of the game's variety.
Thanks, Moyle.
Bye.
Yep, missed 2 clocks. And there's your golden carrot. So where is the 1930s? I just love the 1930s for some reason. I just think it looks really nice. There's a couple of levels that you play really early on that I'm afraid that I've cleaned out already, so I can't really show you them effectively, but it's just really well styled. Ouch. Don't remember that being so grainy, but then again.
Hey, Muggsy, look, a witness. Get
This
that
bit even takes place in like the hub,
problem, boss.
which I thought was cute. Yeah, they got all the money they want, but they got to get that stupid bunny. Then again, I already foiled like 2 of their individual schemes, so. Now this level can kind of suck, because there's a bunch of things that can instantly kill you. So you got to be kind of careful about that, but still, it's just a really good example of variety. Now they're in front of us. And you do got to be careful, because one death on this level can send you all the way back a section, but thankfully we made it through that without much in the way of problems. And now we're on a motorcycle, because of course we are. Oh, I missed a golden carrot. You can imagine how annoying it is to have to go back to levels that you can easily beat the first time you get golden carrots, but that's just how collectathons work, I suppose. Fun fact, considering I'm almost out of things to talk about, and yes, this is just silly. Oh, watch this. Yeah, we're on a unicycle! Because cartoon logic. I love it. It's dumb, but I love it. But yeah, fun fact, the developers of this game, Behavior Interactive, they're still around. They have a pretty long track record. This is one of the first games they ever developed for the PlayStation. They did develop a couple of other things, like Jersey Devil, which is basically this game's predecessor. They also developed a sequel to this game called Bugs and Taz Time Busters, which is another game I'm going to have to check out now that I've brought it up. But they have like kept on developing games for years at this point. And you want to know what they're up to now? This is not a joke, by the way. You can go look this up. But they're currently like they're currently a support studio on Star Citizen. This is not a lie. This is the absolute truth. It is the dumbest thing, but I love it. even kidding. This isn't even a joke. They are working on Star Citizen now. Because of course they are.
But you left some stuff behind you. Let me save
Well, I didn't unlock anything with all that, but, well... To be fair, if I get, like, one more clock, I'll probably be alright. Like, let me just pause real quick. 57. No, I think I'm gonna need, like, two more clocks, but either way, there is another, like, little bit of a variety level that I can show you, and we're gonna go do that just to keep the pace up. So we're gonna go to the pirate years. It's not that one. I think it's this one. When Sam met Bunny.
Come back here, you mangy mutineering rabbit!
So this is basically just a boss fight level, but it's still enjoyable because it's got a fair bit of variety to it. So we successfully catches things and throw them back at him. And now we have to use whatever the hell this thing is. I never figured out what this was. It's like a fan of some kind? We basically just gotta send his own explosives back at him. It also gives us health back, just because, you know, they're not absolute dicks about it. Didn't mean to pause there. This is kind of what happens when you need to hammer away at buttons. They don't even give you any instructions for this fight, which I thought was a bit weird. They're usually pretty heavy on the instructions. You unlock this level pretty early on, so it's kind of surprising. Oh, is it one of those air compressor things that you use to light fires? Is he using it like as a different item because cartoon logic? I mean, I suppose that makes sense. And down goes this ship. It's not that hard, it's not that complicated, but it's still fun. They put enough little details into his actions, into the fight itself, to just get it above that bar. And it's a short level, so you just do it and leave.
Great. Just perfect. You have completed this level. Let me
Nope, still didn't unlock anything new. Alright, I tell you what. I've got a cheat code for this game. And I'm going to go and put it in. And then we're going to go and play another longer-ish platforming level. I think I've got to do it from here. I'll be back. Alright, my original plan got cut short by the fact that I'm an idiot who doesn't remember the game very well. So we're just going to go play one more standalone level. And then that'll be it, because the video is already getting ridiculously long. But yeah, it's another classic Bugs Bunny cartoon reference. It's the bullfight. Where is he? Yeah, there he is. Still can't see him. There we go. Knock him flat on his ass. But yeah, to summarize everything I've already said about Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, it's a fun little collectathon 3D platformer. You never get licensed games that are this good. It's weird. Like, it's nothing amazing. It's very clearly been beat out by other 3D platformers over the years. But it's got style, it's got charm. They very clearly thought about what they were doing. It looks good for the PlayStation 1 hardware. And I find myself still having fun with it. Which is a real surprise, considering it's a PlayStation 1 game, a 3D platformer to boot, on a console which wasn't exactly good for 3D platformers aging well. But this one did a really good job at that. If you ever have the opportunity to pick it up and play it, I recommend that you do. It can keep you occupied for a weekend. And it's good at enjoying you at the same time, so who can argue, really? Now I gotta go and edit the absolute shit out of this video to get rid of the fact that I spent 20 minutes trying to get an all level select sheet to work. Only to kind of screw up when I forgot that half a level was required on a pickup that you need in another level. It's just, yeah, bit of a pain.
Goodbye, Moyle.
But what do I expect? I'm cheating. That's exactly what I expect to happen to me. But yeah, this has been Blue Maxima. I'll try and get other videos out as soon as I can, but you can tell I'm kind of getting desperate. I'll see you all next time.